Welcome to Good Night Book with Erica and Nate.
You know, I just play like random songs from my past.
Mm-hmm.
I'll play it in the car for Wes, like on our drives. And I played Silhouettes. Do you know that song? It was the Nylons version is what I was playing. It's like
oh my God, the Nylons.
Version.
I'm sure I do. Yes.
And
yes.
me and Joel and Corby and Dan used to sing that.
In 4-part harmony?
Yes. I was the lead on that one.
Nice.
Because I'm bad at harmonizing. That's really honestly why I was in that role. Because the other three of them all had better voices than me, but knew how to read music. And I was like, I know how to listen to music. Does this help? Which just got me, I don't know, I was just like thinking about those times and stuff and like realizing that Corby was gone and like that was weird. And
that's right.
I know.
Oh.
I think he would appreciate this. That's why I feel fine about this joke. I think he would like this. But the joke of it was because, like, what if you do a tribute? Like, well, how would you do a singing tribute? You'd have to, like, find another bass. Then thought it'd be funny if you just left the bass line out. And then also it would be funnier if we did Blue Moon, which starts, like, the whole first part of the song is all bass. It's like, you know, bop 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 dang a dog ding blue moon. Like that is all bass. So like we'd all just be standing there.
You guys are all counting.
Yeah, blow a pitch pipe and then go blue moon. Eventually we'd enter like, but we'd all be like, okay, we'd like kind of, you know, like mouth along with the bop bop bop. Blue moon. Anyway, I think Corby would have liked that.
That's a good one.
Today, I think we should review a little book called Time for Betty By. No, it's called Bedtime for Bonzo. What's it called? Honestly,
The Going to Bed book.
The Going to Bed book by Sandra Boynton. That's right. It's a Boynton joint. And we're always happy to have a Boynton joint in the house. What's your history with this book, Erica? You said that you. I'm just gonna let me tell it.
Yeah, you tell my history. This is really what this is for. This podcast.
No, you go ahead. I forgot.
Erica has told me I can actually speak about myself in the third person if that helps.
It doesn't hurt.
Are you sure? I'm not. I'm going to refuse my own offer to do that. We read this a lot. This was like an every night book for us when Olive was a baby. I never knew about this book, but somebody gave it to us, and somehow it's like a perfectly little square board book, very typical board book.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, I like to give it a lot of credit. I think it did help her go to sleep. We had like a whole orchestration. We had special noises. This was like a deep history kind of book for us. So I'm excited to talk about it today. And you have no history with this book, right?
I have about an hour with it. I have an hour-long history with it, and really only 10 minutes of that. It was just like it started an hour ago. And some of it, the experience was trying to find a PDF for free, which I did.
Yeah.
And then
you
like
didn't want anybody reading
resizing,
it to you?
I had to resize the PDF a little bit so that I could see it. I got it.
Okay.
But that was pretty successful. I don't know if that's what they were going for, but I feel like I could describe. I think a listener or two has fallen asleep since I started. If I described the process, I think they would really.
Yeah, that's true. I think you're right. It's like a new iteration of this book in your journey.
In my journey. Do you want to do synopses?
Yeah, let's just, even though it's a very brief book, I will do a synopsis. Here's mine. It's a hypnotic poem about all creatures great and small heading to bed on a boat.
Okay.
That's the one you read, right?
Yes, that is good. Yeah, I was like holding my breath through that whole like. Oh,
I know.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. Okay, here's mine. A bunch of animals on a boat. I kind of front loaded it. A bunch of animals on a boat put themselves to bed, haunted by the memories of the souls lost. by which I mean their families and fellow shipmates. Which I guess maybe I'll just lead right into this. Like, I kind of don't understand the setting and situation of this. Because, like, where are their parents? There's no room for them, for sure. If they're kids, because they seem like kids. If they're not kids, what are they doing in the bathtub together? If they are, either way, is this an arc? I kind of thought
it does look like an arc.
And then there's only one of each of them. So, you know, something happened.
None of these things occurred to me.
Yeah. So this is with my, like, because I didn't figure out the arc thing with it, but I was like, what age are these people? Animals. Who's in charge here? And then it, like, does make me think that it's like I also have been watching Yellow Jackets. I don't know if you're familiar with that show at all, but it's...
No, I know the premise.
Yeah. So I think that might have influenced I'm in a Lord of the Flies sort of, you know, mindset. Also, I have 2 kids. That also puts one into a Lord of the Flies sort of mindset pretty quickly. And I got to tell you, I don't have answers. I don't have the conch. That's what I don't have.
Oh, yeah.
Not me.
Oh. No, nor do I. I don't think I would ever get the conch in the Lord of the Flies situation.
I'd break it.
Maybe once.
I'd drop it and it'd break. I'd be like, oh, no. Well, we're never going to give it to him again.
They have to find a new conch. Well, I don't have any answers for you. Brett and I were really in deep suspension of disbelief in reading of this book, and
not real critical about it.
No, not real critical. We just went with it.
I understand. I was definitely in a more critical mood than I would have been if I would have been reading this to a child. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I do anticipate the kind of questions that Wes would ask, though. I
know. I think you do come at it with that lens. I hear that in your attitude towards it. Like, where are their parents? Like, she knows your bedtime routine, so she'd be like, where's their story and milk time?
Exactly.
Wow. They're all exercising before bed. That's my only, if I had a critique. So basically this, like, reviewing this book, you start with the boat full of animals that definitely looks like our idea or somebody's intention to tell us what an ark looks like. And then everybody goes below to take a bath in one big tub. And then they're tidying up. Then they find pajamas. And there's a little bit of mayhem that happens on the pajama page. I don't know if you noticed that. The dog and the rabbit accidentally switch pajamas. Hilarious. Then there's all of them brushing their teeth.
Sorry. Okay,
I'll give you a minute.
No,
are you ready?
Back away from the mic here.
Woo! Yeah. You know.
Woo!
All sweaty with that hilarity. So then the part that always got Brett and I was like, you're going back upstairs to exercise before bed?
Yeah.
It seems like a terrible way to calm down.
And it's actually not the best idea for your health. You can, it helps you more. Exercise helps you more if you do it earlier in the day.
I've heard that.
That's my personal training tip. And as you can see, I'm the very the quintessence of a man. Of a chiseled, muscular, you know what I mean?
Yep. You've been dialing it in your whole life, I'd say.
Yeah, it kind of comes naturally to me, but also is really hard. So, like my pecs and delts.
Yep. And the lats.
The lats, or the ladder, the former. Do you like boats?
I do like boats. It depends on the boat. I like a pontoon.
Uh-huh.
I like a ferry.
Mm-hmm.
I like to be on a ferry.
Do you like to be on a ferry with your car, do you mean?
Yeah. Like to get out of that car. That's a trippy situation. Love that. Yeah.
Do you ever imagine it pulling away as you pull up, like that situation from movies?
Mm-hmm. I do. They do stress me out because we've taken a ferry a couple times to Indoor County over to Washington Island, and it's always this Tetris game and you're wondering if they're going to get you on and be able to fit you in. And then they do. And then you're like locked in a weird spot. And so it's always that game. Will I get on? Will I, won't I?
It's just like a romantic comedy, basically. So you really like them, just like you really like romantic comedies.
I do.
Oh, Erica has a big Nora Ephron poster behind her. Not even a movie poster, just a Nora Ephron.
Just of her. Yeah, her glamour shot.
Holding a pencil. Thinking. Are you
a boat person? Are you a watercraft person?
I like to go out on boats briefly. I don't like a whole day of boat activity usually. Definitely would never own a boat. Like, that is way too much work, to the point that I would never ever use it because it would be so much work, and then it would be in disrepair almost immediately.
Just be one more thing.
Yeah.
Do one more thing. Yep. What about a canoe or a kayak?
Yes, love canoes. I like kayaks too. I haven't done it as much, but I like canoes. I like I think it's fun to have two people.
Yeah, just two people. Pretty soon you should be able to put your kids, tuck them right down in the middle.
Yeah, Viv's pretty nervous about drowning. I feel like it's going to be a while before we get into a canoe, but we'll see what we can do. I want to.
Did you know that they have these things called life jackets, and then we
don't believe in them. They've got vaccines in them. Yeah.
Can I tell you another highlight for me in this book?
Yes, absolutely, please.
As we digress from the boat conversation, which I do love, it's sort of related because I love this book for the reasons I already mentioned, but I also love that this device that sometimes books use, a lot of movies use, where it's like a deceptively large interior and a small outer exterior, in this case the boat. It's kind of like the TARDIS. So I call this the TARDIS effect because what? You have a bathtub and some dressers and, there's just a lot of stuff going on in this boat. I think it's kind of a magical situation.
Maybe it's
and
just
I love that. It's
really have you seen those tiny houses with the crazy the crazy architecture that are the tucked away things and stuff? Maybe it's just one of those.
Oh, yeah. Folds in and out. And nope. Now it's your bedroom. Now it's your kitchen.
They should include a page where it's they're folding it all out. I always think about that. They have those videos that are kind of time-lapse videos of the folding out process.
Oh, I love that stuff. Yes.
But then it's then I think about actually having to do it. What a fucking pain in the ass it probably is. You gotta put all these cushions on this, and then they don't ever sit quite right or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not actually comfortable.
They've been compressed for 2 months. Because who's accepting an invitation to your tiny house? No one.
No one. Not in this day and age. No way,
no,
man.
Not these days. 2 close counters. No?
I know.
2 encounters. Close
encounters.
Quarters.
Yep.
No, yes, close
we were talking
quarters.
About aliens.
Yeah, close in quarters of the first kind. Which? Oh, do you hear that aliens are real now?
No, I don't know. Did we talk about this last time? No.
Maybe. I don't know. We thought about this last time.
Yeah.
So
tell me more
about the aliens.
Are they?
Yeah, there's these Tic Tacs. They're in Tic Tacs. Remember Tic Tacs?
Okay. Yeah.
These are the peppermint Tic Tacs, not the orange Tic Tacs.
Okay.
And they drop out of the sky at very fast rates, and then can just sit there. They also somehow pair up with a rippling on the ocean that they believe seems like it's something underneath the ocean that's making it. Anyway, so there's that. Then there's these cubes in spheres hanging over the East Coast, off the East Coast on the Atlantic Ocean and other places too. But those are the ones that have been well documented. What? So anyway, and they've been there for 7 years.
I don't know what to do with this information.
I'm going to freak out, but I have a reminder set on my phone because I've got some shit to take care of.
Yep.
first. Do you want me to send you a calendar invite?
Yeah, I think I could use a little. I've got a packed weekend, and so
this is actually we're
I need
gonna
to
push
carve
it.
out some space.
It's gonna be October probably. I want to wait till after your birthday.
Yeah, that sounds good. Let's put a pin in this and come and revisit it.
Pencil you in like maybe I'm thinking a weekday would be good for me, just because I have the kids covered.
Sure.
They don't need to see this. You know what I mean? They're going to have enough to worry about between the robots and the aliens fighting for control over them. Mm-hmm. You know? But
and the occasional forest fire and mutant rat.
Yeah. Rodents of unusual size.
Uh-huh.
Rodents. I want to tell you that Sandra's middle name is Keith. I just found that out, and I wanted to tell you
No, it's not.
It absolutely is.
No, it's not. Wow. I love that about her.
I hate that about her. I'm angry.
Oh, no.
I'm just kidding. I'm not mad. It's maybe the best app. I don't love the name Keith, to be honest. So it's like maybe the best application of the name Keith.
Yeah. Well, she does keep it locked down, that information. I think on the back of this book, you know how they have all these little extras on the back of the book?
Uh-huh.
I think we have read all of these books except for doggies. One of the best ones is called Happy Hippo, Angry Duck. So it's like a book of like opposites.
Okay.
And emotions.
Are hippos
it's a good
and ducks opposites? What's the opposite of a hippo? A duck? I guess. It's not that far out.
I think so. And it's like it's funny. It's a book of moods and I like it. I think she's funny. This one's subtle, but I do think she's funny. What was the other one we read? It was the one about dinosaurs.
Oh, dinosaur. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
spiny.
right.
Yeah. The elevator.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
AD and I started really reading that book after we did that episode because it was out. So then he grabbed it and was really confused about the elevator.
Oh, interesting. What is that dial?
Indicator?
Mean? Yes.
I don't know. Yeah. He's like, what are those numbers?
Yeah, old timey.
Yeah, it's like the ding going down. Whenever, when you're in an elevator, some elevators say, going down. I will say, if there's no one in there, I will say, you're going down.
You want to start something?
Yeah. Oh, we doing this?
Oh, is this how it's going to go?
Yeah, it's not. I'm not exactly in a very powerful position at that point, though. I'm trapped. I'm inside it, and it can make me go up and down.
I mean, I know the elevator is adjacent to what we're talking about today, but have your kids been on elevators? Do they find them intriguing?
Yes, they like all the buttons, mostly. I don't think they are, like, mystified by the teleportation
concept. Yeah. I honestly, we could just, like, we used to go to, like, malls and places that had elevators, and she would just be thrilled. We would be able to occupy her for a really long time if it was a place that had, like, especially like a place that had a glass elevator, or escalators were a huge hit. So I highly recommend if you're feeling trapped someday.
Well, the airport of Fiv's mom takes Wes to the airport sometimes to ride the escalators.
Really? That's really cute.
Yeah, I love escalators. I still love escalators.
I do too. Okay, so here's a serious question.
Oh,
Are you a stand? Okay, ready? Are you grounded? Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you get on the escalator and just stand there, or do you get on the escalator and also walk?
It's kind of a mix. I get on the escalator, put my hands on the rubber things on the sides, and then lift my feet up and wiggle my body around.
Oh, like a little gymnast doing parallel bars.
Mm-hmm. Cool. I do sometimes do that if I am by myself. If I'm not, I I will walk most of the time. If somebody's in front of me, I'm not going to walk past somebody on a fucking escalator. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When people are like off to the right or whatever,
Excuse
I'm not
me.
like,
Yeah,
no way. Especially because I've got my big backpack with my, surfboard on it and my, all my Rubik's cubes that I just solved. I was like, I've made myself sound cool.
What are you
Now,
referencing?
How can I make myself sound smart? Rubik's cubes. That was my calculation. What an idiot.
What picture are you painting us?
Yeah, I feel like
something out of
triangulate my birthday from that information that I just said.
Exactly.
I know exactly
like,
how
is
old
Fast
this
Times at
weirdo
Ridgemont
is.
High? Where are we? Yeah, or Clueless, or Mallrats.
Small rats. There's a small rat in here, isn't there?
Oh no!
What do you think that floofy thing is? I don't know what that floofy thing is.
What floofy thing? It's a cat.
That's a cat?
There's a bunny.
That is an ugly cat.
There's a lion, elephant. It's a cat. It's got whiskers.
Oh, it's a cat. You don't think
There's
rats
no
have
rat.
whiskers? Lady, you got a lot to learn about rats.
Have I told you my rat story?
Have I told you lately my rat story?
My rat story.
Yeah, no, you haven't. I don't think so.
Okay. I mean, we're really off topic, but there isn't a lot to talk about in this book. And I think a rat story is a good way to rat it up.
To wrap this up. Wrap this up.
Okay. Once long ago, when Olive was a baby, we were reading her this book every night. Brett was working I was still on maternity leave, and Brett was working at an Apple store. And so he would go off at various times of the day to go to work. And one morning I was sleeping in after being up regularly with Olive. She was not a good sleeper. And for the last couple weeks, to set the context, we had heard scratching in the walls and seen a lot of squirrel activity in and around our house and on the roof. And so this morning, Brett is getting ready in the bathroom, and I can kind of hear him. I'm in the bedroom, sort of drifting in and out of sleep. And all I hear is, "Oh shit." And then the toilet lid slamming down. And I sort of awake now, but also still very sleepy. And he comes in and he goes,
"Oh no."
So I found out what the scratching in the wall is. It's a rat, and it's now trapped in our toilet. Not dead, but alive. And I'm sorry I have to go to work.
Oh God. Good morning.
And so then I am very fully awake, and he has left, and I have a baby that's soon to be waking up in the next room. So I go get a glove, get a Tupperware container, and
oh my God.
proceed to very carefully open the lid.
Carefully move out of my fucking house with my daughter. That would be the end of the story. That would be the end of the story for me.
For you?
Yeah.
You couldn't do it? Could you get it? Yeah. So I got that rat out, and then sent it on its merry way.
How big is this rat?
It's like,
holy fuck! For the listener at home,
like,
she's running from one wall to another wall.
It's about 6 inches long, but its tail is like another 6 inches long, and that it barely fit in the Tupperware container that I got. I just took it out to the alley and let it go, and then later found out, once we hired an exterminator, that they come right back to where they found a sweet little home.
You gotta take it like a mile or something. There's some like rule.
Yeah, plus that's not the only one in my house at the time, but the exterminator took care of it. It was a funny thing I like to give Brett a lot of crap about. But I'm definitely like the rat getter, bug remover.
I'm the bug remover. I would have been able to handle it. All joking aside, I would have been able to handle it, but I wouldn't have wanted to.
Of the four of you, which one is
me.
The rat remover? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it would have to be me, but I would consider moving. I mean, but in this market, are you right? Yeah, are you right?
Am I right? Are you right, or am I right?
Who's right here? Just fucking somebody fucking tell me who's right. That's all I want to know. That's all I'm asking here. I don't think that's that hard.
I've asked you here today, in fact, just to find out.
So if anybody could, I don't know, write in and let me know just who the fuck is right around here. That's all I need to know. Well, I think you really wrapped that up. I really want to be able to say wrapped that up.
I know.
And it won't work. Wrap.
It's too close.
Yeah,
Rat-a-tat-tat it up.
A rat-a-tat-tat. Let's rat-a-tat-tat right into this outro here. That's all we have to say about what's the book called? Good night. Hello.
The going to... Hello, goodbye.
Good night and
good night.
Good night and good luck. By Sandra Keith Boynton. It's the Going to Bed book by Sandra Keith Boynton. Oh my God. Can I just interrupt myself? There's an inside page that says by Sandra Boynton for Keith, who is never tired.
Oh, shiz. It does say that.
What does that mean? Oh,
probably one of her
mystery.
children.
You think? So do you think maybe Keith is a family name?
Yeah. I know.
Who's never...
Too bad.
I like how I was so confused about that, did not consider it could have been one of the kids, assumed she was talking about herself, an extra like part of herself. And then when you said it was her kid, I was like, oh, did she name herself after her kid? It's kind of what I thought. I've got a real brain problem. Maybe I should
just can't, like, it just doesn't settle with you that like somehow that name came to her and then she passed it on.
Right.
She got it first. It wasn't an accident.
Okay.
Or forced on her.
We'll see.
By your child.
I guess we'll find out. Anyway.
Next time.
That's all we got next time on what is this podcast called? Good Night Book. Anyway, that really is all we have to say about the Going to Get to Bed book. If you enjoy the show, please rate and review it and tell somebody that you like about us. And if you don't like it, tell somebody you hate. That'll show them. For a transcript of this episode or any episode, please send a self-addressed stamped envelope to the address you see on your screen. And we will send you back a post-it note that just says, no. Until next time, good night, mush. Good night, creepy old lady. And good night, book.
And
I almost forgot it again.